Absolute must-have. It is an FDA-cleared medical device, and it is the modern-day thermometer. The day of trying to read a glass and mercury thermometer are gone. And hey, listen, with the pandemic, a temperature is usually the first indicator that somebody's not feeling well. We've already had 175,000 people who have picked this up. I think it's an absolute must-have. I really do. I get to introduce you to our next guest. She was a past ABC Health reporter here in Pennsylvania, also a nurse. Her name is Allison Gorman. Allison, how are you? Welcome back.
Hi, Dan. Good to see you.
Great to have you here. I think back to, again, when I was a little kid in the 60s, that was barbaric. My mother would take a
and you probably had the mercury ones.
Oh,
and the
yeah.
mercury ones are gone. They're gone.
Yeah, and my mother, I mean, she would take a glass vial with a poisonous metal in it and go, I know you're not feeling well, but stick this under your tongue for 3 minutes.
Yeah, those days are gone. And as you said, a thermometer is a must-have. I say this as a nurse, whether you live by yourself, you have roommates, if you have a large extended family, you have to have a thermometer. You want one that is, as you said, FDA cleared,
Yep.
reliable, clinically accurate. This is all of those things. What I really like about this and why I use this in my household is it's so easy to use. So you have your button to turn it on right there in the middle. And then you're just going to put it 1 inch to 2 inches from your forehead.
Yeah.
And then there you go. You have your reading right there, 98.1. So I am within the normal range. Again, I'm not touching my forehead. So if you are using this in between people, you don't have to disinfect it in between, which is a big thing, a big benefit right now with the pandemic. Also, what is cool about it, if you don't remember the numbers, 97.9, you can see this backlight. It's hard to see in the camera right now, but it is a green backlight, and that is because my temperature is within those normal limits. If those numbers were reaching up to the 99s, the 100s, the backlight turns yellow. That indicates that something might be brewing. Then, if you were to do this and you had a temperature of 100.4 or higher, that backlight is going to turn red, and that indicates that you have a fever. Of course, that's a sign that your body is fighting off some sort of infection.
Yep. You got it. This is kind of like Star Trek or Jetsons technology, Allison.
It's very easy to use. And you know what, Dan? I think everybody is used to this at this point. I think
Yeah.
you guys have it at the QVC offices.
Yep, we
I
do.
know whenever I walk into an office building, someone's doing this. Even where I go get my nails, someone's using something like this. My my son, I have a 2.5-year-old. They're using this when he goes into daycare. So people have gotten very used to using these as well. And we should mention there are different modes. I am using it predominantly just for the body temperature right now, but the modes, there's 3 different ones. You have the body temperature, you also have room temperature, and that can just tell you if a room is too hot, too cold,
Yep.
maybe you're fighting with someone over the thermostat. And then you also have surface temperature, which can be good for food if you don't want to burn your tongue if you're having soup, or for babies, if you're
Yeah.
putting a baby in a bath. I always found it was very difficult to figure out what's too hot, what's too cold. Just like you do with the body temperature, it would be 1 inch to 2 inches from the water. I keep getting 97.9. I don't have a fever. But that way you can figure out exactly what that water temperature is before putting the baby inside.
It's my daughter is, well, can I say it? She's 35. She's got 2 little kids. And the way she raises her children in this modern era, she looks back to the days when she was a baby like it was the 1800s. Because we would take the baby formula, the bottle, out of the microwave, and you would drip it on your wrist to see how warm it is.
That's just not a very accurate way
No.
to figure out how warm or cold something is.
I will say
I
that.
have a 2.5-year-old. This is easy. With the probe, he's not going to hold it under his tongue. He's not even going to hold it underneath his arm.
Right.
With this, he's actually so used to it. He kind of puts his head out and just kind of smiles and he waits for that noise. I should mention though,
Yeah, you
that
can shut the
alarm,
noise off. Yeah.
you can shut it off. It's good to do if you're doing it yourself. You want to know when it's done, 98.1.
But you know this,
But
Mom.
if you don't want to wake somebody up, you
Yeah.
can turn that off.
You know this as the mother of a 2.5-year-old. Anyone who wakes the baby up when the baby isn't feeling well, becomes the enemy.
Yeah,
Right?
that's the last thing you want to do.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to
So
do.
you can turn that beep off. And it's real simple to do. Again, it's an FDA cleared medical device. And
FDA cleared, clinically accurate,
Yep.
reliable, easy to use. If you were just mentioning some glasses. If your eyes, if you need readers, you don't need readers with
Yeah.
this. It's about an inch display, so it's easy to read, even in the middle of the night because it lights up. As I said, and turning that alarm off is key. We did have a situation where my little one was sick, lots of viruses going around. He did
Oh,
not
yeah.
have COVID, but he had a fever. Gave him some medication, and then he fell asleep. So then he's up in his crib. And yes, you do not want to wake a sleeping baby.
No,
So I was able to
no.
turn off that alarm, kind of sneak in his room, get close up, and I was able to test his temperature, make sure that medication was working to bring it down.
Uh, it should be in every household. It really should.
Every household. And I like that this one, the one that I have, came with two, which is great because I keep one in the upstairs bathroom and then I keep one in the kitchen here with all of my medical supplies up in the cabinet. You do need two AAA batteries. Now, the company says, if you're not using it, take the batteries out
Right.
so that the batteries don't go bad. We've been using ours a lot just to make sure. So the batteries have been fine. I
And
keep
by the way,
one upstairs, one
batteries are
downstairs.
included. And I
Batteries
want
are
to point out the one that we're offering today, same great piece of equipment, but this is a singular unit, not a set of two.
Okay. So
Okay.
that's this one.
But the batteries do come with it, so you're ready to go. I've had mine for well over a year. I don't think I've ever changed the batteries.
I changed it just to be sure before we came on, but
Okay.
it was still working.
Yeah.
And this, I mean, we're using this a lot, and this is the only one that we've been using for months. I have tested it with other ones. It is clinically accurate. It is reliable. So I'm really liking this one again because it's so easy to use.
Agreed. The memory on there will hold 32 different readings. By the way, if you are watching us in Canada, this can be switched between centigrade and Fahrenheit.
Yes, we never use centigrade here, but
Yeah.
you can do that. The memory is good because a lot of times you're calling the doctor and they want to know, okay, what were the last 5 readings? Unless you wrote it down, you're probably not going to remember. So you can just click through and, as you say, get those last 30 or so readings that it kind of keeps in track there.
Great price. I'll tell you what, this stuff is not easy to find in the drugstores right now. So the fact
No,
that
and Dan, the last thing you want to do when someone is sick in your household is go out in the middle of the night to a
Yep.
drugstore to find a thermometer. You're already stressed. You want to have this in your household. This is a must-have for everyone.
Allison, it is
8.1.
always, see, I'm so competitive. And I can't beat you right now. I'm at 97 degrees for me.
Okay. You're good. We're both good.
Great to see you again. Thank you for
Great
your
to
help.
see you. Thanks, Dan.
Be well. Bye-bye. Hey,